Voters in Virginia and New Jersey are also voting for a new governor. In New Jersey, nearly 1.2 million people voted earlier by mail in the governor's race. 51% of those voters were registered Democrats, 29% Republican. In Virginia, 1.4 million voted ahead of Election Day, with 42% coming from registered Democrats, 30% from Republicans. With early voting surging in Virginia, for example, the governor's race is shaping up to be one of the most closely watched in the country. Democrat Abigail Spanberger and Republican Winsome Earle-Sears making history in Virginia, set to elect the first female governor. The race has broken fundraising records and brought out some big names on both sides. NewsNation's Hannah Brandt joining us from Arlington with the latest on this race and where things stand right now. Hannah?
Marni, you're right. The eyes of the country really on this Virginia race, and you can see both parties pouring a lot of resources into boosting their candidates in this election. I want to give you a look at the latest polling, which shows the Democratic candidate with a slight lead. This is polling from Emerson College and our partners at The Hill. It shows, as I said, Abigail Spanberger with 55% support over her opponent, Republican Lieutenant Governor Winsome Earle-Sears, polling at 44%. Democrats, though, really not taking that lead for granted over the weekend, bringing in one of their stars, former President Barack Obama, who came to Virginia to campaign directly with Spanberger. We were actually there in person for that rally, and so were thousands of supporters packed into that arena where Obama made the case that Republican policies aren't working for them, contrasting that with Spanberger's plan for Virginia.
So Abigail has real, practical plans to grow the economy and strengthen Virginia's schools and lower the cost of everything from housing to health care to energy.
Meanwhile, President Trump also getting involved. He has not endorsed Earle-Sears by name, but he is talking about this race. He posted several Truth Social posts about it last night. Take a look at one of the posts that he wrote, where he wrote to Virginia and New Jersey voters, quote, vote Republican if you want massive energy cost and crime reductions. Plus, President Trump's political operation reportedly spending millions on last-minute voter turnout efforts in both Virginia and New Jersey, according to Axios. And current Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin, a Republican, says he thinks that proves President Trump is behind the Republican ticket here. Take a listen.
He's leaning in. You saw today that they are investing in this race, and that's exactly what we need. So I see him being very supportive, and I appreciate it.
And tonight, as you mentioned, President Trump is scheduled to do that tele-rally for Virginia, where we'll be listening closely to see how he talks about Earle-Sears specifically and what he says as they try and make this last-minute push to get Republicans out to the polls, Marni.
For a moment, Hannah, about that scandal in the race with the Democratic candidate for Attorney General. How significant was that on the possible outcome here?
Well, this was certainly a bombshell report. Remember, there was reporting that the Democratic Attorney General candidate, Jay Jones, basically suggested that a Republican state lawmaker should be shot in these text messages that he sent back in 2022. He did apologize for those text messages after that report came out. Spanberger, for her part, condemned the text messages and the violent rhetoric. But Republicans have really been pointing to this and saying that it should be disqualifying for Jones, who they say should just not be the Attorney General. And they say it should be disqualifying for Spanberger because Republicans argue she should have called for Jones to drop out. And we are seeing in polling that this Attorney General's race is much tighter than the governor's race. Jones only leading his opponent, current Attorney General Jason Miyares, by just a couple of points. So we may see this make a difference in the polling, though I will note that Jones was one of the speakers at that rally with Obama and Spanberger this weekend. So he clearly is still being embraced by his party to some extent, Marni.
All right. Hannah Brandt, thank you, live from Virginia.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.